Hi everyone and welcome back to Matthew Wisdom. Today we're going to be doing half of part 1 of the Algebra 2 Regents, the most recent one. So this is going to be 12 questions and the next video is going to be the other 12 questions and then parts 2, 3, and 4, hopefully. Let's just get right into it. This is going to be a long video. So question 1 says, the value of t in the equation 27 to the power of 6 minus t is equal to 9 to the power of t minus 1 is... So we need to solve for t in this case. So I'm going to rewrite this as 27, 6 minus t equals 9t minus 1. So we have two exponents here. And we have to set them equal to each other in order to solve for t. But before that, we need to find a common base between these two in order to actually set them equal to each other. So if we think about a common base, we're going to get 3 because 3 goes into 27 3 times because 3 to the power of 3 is 27 and 3 to the power of 2 goes into 9. So we're not going to forget about the exponents. We still have 6 minus t and then t minus 1. But now it's easier because now we can simplify these so we can multiply them doing power of a power. So we have 3 times 6 minus t is equal to 2 times t minus 1. If we simplify this, we get 18 minus 3t is equal to 2t minus 2. Then we just solve algebraically. So plus 3 plus 3, 18 equals 5t minus 2. Add 2 on both sides. We get 20 is equal to 5t. Divide by 5 and we get t is equal to 4. Another way you could have done this is to simply substitute these values into the equation and see which one works. Question 2 is asking us which expression is equivalent to this right here. So we want to simplify this first and foremost. So let's simplify x minus 4 squared. So we're going to do x minus 4x minus 4. X times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. X times 4 is negative 4x. And then negative times negative 4 is positive 16. We simplify this, we get x squared. Then plus minus 4x is negative 8x. And then plus 16. And now we simplify negative 5 times x minus 4. We're going to get negative 5x plus 20. And then we just put these all together. So we're going to do x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus 5x plus 20. We can't forget the 6 plus 6. So now we just add terms. So x squared has no other term. Then we do minus 8x plus minus 5x. So it's going to be negative 13x. And then we do plus 16 plus 20 plus 6. That's going to give us 42. So then we have to simplify this even more. So we need to think about what two numbers multiply to give us 42 but add to give us negative 13. And that's going to be x negative 6 times x minus 7. Because negative 6 minus 7 is negative 13, but also negative 6 times negative 7 is positive 42. So our answer is going to be 4. Question 3. Researchers wanted to determine if listening to classical music can reduce math anxiety. They divided 100 students into 2 groups and put them in identical rooms. Both groups completed a math test and a survey rating their level of math anxiety. One group then listened to classical music for 10 minutes while the other group sat quietly. Both groups then took another math test, rated their level of math anxiety, and the researchers compared their results. Is this an observational study or an experiment? Well, an observational study focuses more on observation. So we're actually looking at a certain subject. We're not actually directly involved with what they do. So it can't be observational study because this is directly affecting 2 groups. We're testing their results. So it's not observational. Now we have options 3 and 4. Option 3 says it is an experiment because one group was randomly assigned to listen to classical music while the other group was not. Well, this refers to a control group, which is directly aligned with a controlled experiment. So this is going to be the right option because option 4 says it is an experiment because the participants took a math test. Well, that isn't enough to directly call it an experiment. So our answer is going to be 3. Question 4. Which graph represents the function y equals log base 1/2? Well, all you have to do for this problem is to plug it in and graph it in the calculator and look at the x-intercepts. The x-intercepts is the value of x when y is 0. So we can see that the y values are 0 for all of these. So all you have to check is, firstly, which shape, right? Which direction does the graph align with according to your calculator, but also which x-intercept is correct. So when you graph it, you're going to see that 1, 0 is the x-intercept. Question 5. So here we have a cosine graph, and the question is saying if the height of the water is measured in meters and time is measured in hours in tide, what is an equation for the height of the water? So they're asking us to figure out what the equation is. Well, this is a cosine graph because we see that it's U-shaped, so we know that it's cosine, but we need to actually figure out things such as the amplitude, the frequency, and the midline. So the basic formula for this is A, which stands for our amplitude. In this case, it's cosine. Then our frequency is going to go in here, and then plus K, which is our midline or our vertical shift. So A is how far up or down the graph goes from the midline. So that means that first we should find the midline. Well, we're going to take the maximum value, the minimum value, and divide it by 2 to find our midline. So our maximum seems to be around 3.4, and our minimum is at 0.4. So we're going to 3.4 plus 0.4, divide that by 2, we're going to get 1.9, meaning our midline is going to be around here. So now that we have that, we can immediately eliminate options 1 and 2 because in their equations, they have a midline of 1.5. So now the only difference between options 2 and 4 is their frequency. Well, in order to find the frequency, we use an equation where we do the period times the frequency is equal to 2 pi. So in this case, our period is how far, what's the length of one wavelength? Well, the length of one wavelength stops at 12. So our period is 12, and we're looking for our frequency. So we're going to have 12f is equal to 2 pi. So we're going to divide by 12 on both sides to isolate the f, and we're going to get pi over 6 as our frequency. So our answer is going to be 2. Question 6 is asking us to find the solutions to 3x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 0. So we can see that all of these options are in a plus bi form. So we need to use this equation, the quadratic formula. Negative b plus minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we're going to have 3x squared minus 4x plus 2. So in this case, our a value is 3, our b value is negative 4, and our c value is 2. So we're just going to plug this in. So we have negative 4 plus minus negative 4 squared minus 4ac over 2a. And to simplify this, we have minus negative 4, which is just positive 4, plus minus. When we simplify all of this in the radical, we're gonna get negative 8, and then 2 times 3 is 6. So we need to get rid of this radical negative 8, so we're gonna simplify this. So radical negative 8, we're gonna take out an I for imaginary, which is gonna get rid of the negative sign, and then we just do radical 8 like normal. So we can take out radical 2 and radical 4. Radical 2 cannot simplify any further, but radical 4 is a perfect square, so we take out a 2. And we put this together, so we have 4 plus minus 2i radical 2 over 6. Then we just simplify. So 4 over 6 is going to simplify to 2/3 plus minus 2i over 6 is going to simplify to radical 2/3 I. So our answer is going to be 1. 7 is asking us which one of these is equivalent to sine 2 pi over 3. So for this problem, all you have to do is, the easiest way to answer this question is to put your calculator in radians, and then you solve for each of these values in the calculator, just plug them in and see which one is going to be equal to this one right here. And your answer is just going to be 2. Question 8. Given the inverse of f of x is equal to the cubic root of 4x plus 1, which function represents f of x? So to do this, we just have to work backwards. So let's rewrite f of negative 1x as y, and then we have y is equal to the cubic root of 4x plus 1. Then we switch x and y, so we have x is equal to 3 4y plus 1. And now to get rid of this cubic root, we raise both sides to 3. We get x cubed is equal to 4y plus 1. Then we subtract 1 on both sides. We get x cubed minus 1 is equal to 4y. Then we divide by 4 on both sides. And we get this. But none of the options look exactly like this one. So another way that we can do this is we can multiply by 1/4, because 1/4 is the reciprocal of 4. So we're going to get that y is equal to 1/4 x cubed minus 1. So our answer is 3. Question 9. In order for a school to purchase graduation gowns, the heights of all of the high school seniors are recorded. The heights are approximately normally distributed with a mean of 64.7 inches and a standard deviation of 4.267 inches. If a senior is selected at random, what is the probability that this student has a height that falls between 65 and 68 inches? So for this problem, all you have to do is plug it into the calculator. To do this problem, you need to do the norm CDF. So you need to go to distributions and hit normal CDF, then choose your lower and upper bounds, and then input your standard deviation and your mean. So our lower bound is 65, our upper bound is 68, our mean is 64.7, and our standard deviation is 4.267. So 4.267. We enter that. So your answer is going to look something like this. Norm CDF, then 65, 68, 64.7, then 4.267, and you're going to get 0.2523. And this will round to option 3. Question 10. Consider the system of equations below. The x value and y value of the solution of the system are. So what we need to do in this problem is we need to substitute x equals 2 into this equation. So we're going to do 2 plus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 9. So if we simplify 2 plus 1, that's going to be 3. 3 squared is going to be 9. Then 9 plus y minus 4 squared equals 9. Now we need to isolate the y, so we can subtract 9 on both sides. We're going to get y minus 4 squared equals 0. And then we're going to do the square root to get rid of that. It's going to be y minus 4 is equal to 0 still. Then we add 4 on both sides. And we're going to get that y is equal to 4. So our solution is going to be 2, 4. So they're not imaginary. They're not irrational. So our answer is 2. Now this next problem is asking us to find out which expressions are equivalent to 36x to the 4th minus 9x squared. The quickest way to answer this problem is to either pick a value for x and substitute it into all of them, or graph these and see which ones align, or you can factor out each of these individually. So let's say you pick out a value for x. You say x is equal to 2. We plug this into this, we're going to get 540. If we plug it into this, you're also going to get 540. Now, if we plug it into here, we're going to have 9, 2 times 2 squared. So 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Then we have 2 squared again, which is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 2 is going to be 6. We're going to get 10 times 6 is 60. 69 is going to be 540. We plug it in to 4. We're going to do 2 squared. That's 4. 4 times 36 is going to give us 144. Then we have 2 minus a half. It's going to give us 1.5. Then 2 plus a half is going to give us 2.5. We put that into the calculator, and we're also going to get 540. So 1 passes, 3 passes, and 4 passes. So we can get rid of 1, we can get rid of 2, and we can get rid of 3. So our answer is 4, because it includes 1, 3, and 4. Last but not least, a deposit of $1,250 is made into a savings account that earns 1.86% annual interest. The amount in this account at any time t in years modeled by a of t is equal to this. Which expression best models the equivalent monthly growth of the account? So given equation, it's being modeled in years, but this problem is asking us for months. So that means 12. 12 in a year. So I'm going to rewrite it. A of t is equal to 1,250 then 1.0186. So in this case, since we're doing monthly, that means that we need to do this 12 times. So we're going to do 1.0186 to the power of 1/12 because we're looking for the monthly growth. Since this is the yearly growth, to find the monthly, we need to do 1/12 of that. But since we're also doing it overall in a year, we need to do this 12 times. So if we simplify this, we're going to get around 1.001537. So we can get rid of 1 and 2, and our answer is going to be 3.